Welcome. So in this quick lecture, I'm just going to give you a brief rundown of the goals that you can expect to achieve from doing this course. Now, I didn't really have a clear-cut idea of what I wanted to achieve with this course when I first started mapping it out, but then as I did some brainstorming and thought about the content, I realized a lot of the goals that I wanted people to achieve were goals that I wanted to get to myself when I first started off as a copywriter. It's not as simple as, making money or making your first sale or finding your first client. A lot of it is very educational based and lesson based, and I thought it's a good way to share that sort of good stuff around and to make sure that there's always a good passover of knowledge to people who really want to learn something useful out of this sort of a lecture. So yeah, I think the next few pages of goals should be what you can achieve from my course, and I hope you feel the same way after you start going through the material. So let's have a look. Goal number 1, a better understanding of copywriting. So we'll go through 3 main goals, namely finding out about different kinds of copywriting. You will specifically learn about 5 that I'll cover in the course, and you can probably identify one that you might be drawn towards one that you might like to pursue, and it might turn into something fruitful and long-term for you, so that it can become something of a copywriting career. That's probably the ultimate goal, where you have this passion to do this full-time, or at least almost full-time but mainly part-time, and that'll give you the freedom to have the time to do what you really want to do. And of course you can also learn about what you can get paid as a copywriter, because that is one important aspect, knowing how much you're worth. And I'd like to say that the sky's the limit, but in reality there are some limitations to how much you can be paid, and there are boundaries, but that isn't to say that it can't grow as you become more and more valuable to your clients. Goal 2, the most profitable niches, or niches as you might say in the United States. So you'd want to try and keep things interesting to certain markets, and you might have particular interests or hobbies that you'd like to write about. But I guess every writer needs a bread and butter. You need to have something which you can fall back on, which you can learn about if you're not necessarily an expert about it, and you have some interest about. There are niches out there, specifically, I can say 4, that there are literally billions of dollars going into the market every year through different kinds of products. And if you're a copywriter for these sorts of products, you can stand to make quite a lot of money if you find clients who need your sort of services in promoting those products. You'll learn what these niches are. You also learn the emotional buttons, specifically the emotional profile, going on the spectrum from fear to greed. And that'll make you a very powerful copywriter, because targeting these problems is what solves your client's big problem, which is getting their attention and getting them to respond. Knowing your client's audience will also let you charge more per project, because it means that you understand the market better than the client can, and then they need someone who can do that. They don't want someone who can just put words on a screen. They want someone who can move people to take action, to feel something, and to react. Goal number 3, first client fast track. That first client is a really big deal. It transforms you financially, mentally, and emotionally. I can certainly vouch for that. Before my first client, I was just scared, nervous, doubtful. I didn't believe in my ability. I knew I could put words on a page and type, pretty fast, but besides that, I didn't think I could persuade. But then, once I got paid for it and someone believed in me, that belief from someone else really goes a long way. And now I've no fear in charging above industry rates. A lot of it is about respect, and from there being able to control, your own fate. And that's what I want you to achieve as well, to control your own fate, and to have that sort of self-respect, and to have respect from your clients as well. So you can learn also about getting a traffic advantage by fishing, where clients look for writers like you, and I'll share more about those sort of details later in the course as well. I'll give you those details in a few lectures time, just later on in the course. Now the last goal here is avoiding expensive mistakes. So you might not blow a lot of money on advertising, like $10,000 or $20,000, which I highly advise you don't go ahead and do. But you could lose a lot of time doing the same things that I did. Now, I've been in the industry for 7 years, and I've made my fair share of mistakes. What I've done in this course is summarize the top 5 mistakes all new copywriters make, so you don't have to go through them as well. Now, you might still go through them to some level, I guess you can say. But if you're aware of it and you notice it happening to yourself, that awareness of what's happening in itself can help you to, cut that corner, and to recognize what's happening, and then to sort of nip the problem in the bud, so you can get on the right path and stay on it. This means that you can, work smarter, not work harder, and get paid more per hour. Now, some people might think, if I can get paid at the same rate that I get from work, like 20 or 30 or 40 bucks an hour, then that's awesome. But, writing I think is great because it lets you work part-time. But if you work part-time and need to replace your full-time income, then you need to be worth hundreds of dollars an hour, which is intimidating for some people, but that's the truth if you want to really turn your writing into something which can give you, a nice little side package. So we're talking going from 50 bucks an hour to 200, 300, maybe even 400 bucks an hour. And you might doubt yourself now, but I'm telling you it is possible. So these are the goals around the 4 different goal points. Hope you're as excited as I am, and if you have any questions about these goals or anything else about the course, please leave a discussion and I'll get around to answering your questions or your concerns. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the other lectures.